S&P 500 value of, for those who are following, it has lost 100%. Everything, 100% of the gains of the last 12 months in the last few days. If you're familiar with the VIX index of uncertainty, that's at the highest level of uncertainty since the height of COVID. So, at a time of global uncertainty and massive disruptions everywhere, if you're looking for some positivity and some possibilities and a relative potential, especially now with a clear direction of policy and governance, you're in the right place here in Bangladesh today. We have a fast-paced program for you this morning, and I want to get started as soon as possible. Before that, how about we take a selfie, like a group Wi-Fi with the Honorable Chief Advisor? Should we try and do that? So hold on to your smiles. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, let's get started with the program straight away. I'd like to welcome, and I'd like you all to help me welcome him, the Executive Chairman of our Investment Authority, BIDA, and of our Economic Zones Authority, BEZA, and of course the lead architect of this week's summit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ashik Chaudhary.
Without technical difficulty, any session is a waste of time. Hello. Yes. Sorry, that was actually intentional. We did it to just warm you guys up. So, good morning, everyone. Let's compete with Lutfebai one more time. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for coming from such long distance. And we apologize for ones that we could not manage to give accommodation. We had exceptional level of interest for the summit, which is really great to see for us. My first slide is thank you slide. That's not the last slide. We just wanted to thank all of you for kindly coming and joining the summit. So the purpose of the summit is today, sitting in this forum, we would like to say that we are open for business and we're really committed to win business from all of you. And to do that, we have already thrown Lutfi Siddiqui at you, not literally, but verbally. We'll also throw a Nobel Prize winner at you. We'll do anything to make sure that we win business from you. But first, I would like to take you to future. Let's think about a movie, Back to the Future. Let's go into that set and imagine that we are in 2035. In 2035, how would Bangladesh look like? You'll all be here again. My successor is going to be here presenting. That will be the 10th investment conference for us. And in that conference, we will not be talking about a rising economy, but we'll be talking about a regional manufacturing powerhouse. A country that's connecting east to the west, a bridge that connects Himalayas to Bay of Bengal, a manufacturing hub that is infested by global investors and local investors who are now exporting to the rest of the world. That vision, that imagination is what's driving us today. But it all started actually about 8 months ago. So from the future, let's go back in time to August 5th, 2024. It's a personal story for almost all of us. Unfortunately, I was in Singapore in an investment banking trading room, but my family was here. My wife was on summer holidays. My brother, who came from Cambridge for summer holidays as well, they were all out on the street, part of the protest. So at around noon, Singapore time, I asked them, what's going on? What's happening in Dhaka? So what they did was they were part of a crowd. They looked forward, they took a selfie, a photo what's ahead of them, and they turned back and took another photo of what's behind them. So this first photo was what was ahead of them, and this one was what was behind them. So we need to digest exactly what happened at that time. The young population, the entire youth, was out on the street, demanding transparency, demanding opportunity, demanding democracy, demanding freedom of speech. And that's what has brought us here today. So today, the expectations are very high. The young population of our country, they're global. Unlike us, they're used to tweeting, they're used to looking at TikTok and looking at Singapore and Bangkok. So they don't want Dhaka to be Dhaka 2.0. They actually want Dhaka to become Singapore and Bangkok in 5-10 years' time. So how do we get there? That's the expectation we have. How do we get to Singapore and Bangkok within 5-10 years? How do we unlock the energy that we got during the August Revolution? How do we harness that energy and convert it into employment generation and industrialization? The story for Bangladesh was always there. A lot of you already know about it. We have 180 million domestic market. We have a young population. Almost half of it is less than 25 years old. The middle and affluent class is about 35 million people, which is as big as the Malaysian total population. We have many, many other factors that has led to where we are today. And actually, I must say that there are companies who have been here for more than 100 years and have made exceptional returns compared to the global markets. So if you look at some of these companies who have actually operated in Bangladesh for a long, long time, the returns they have got in Bangladesh is actually significantly higher than the global average. And today, we also have a fantastic news that one of our own startups called ShopUp, the news came out about an hour ago in Bloomberg that the Saudi sovereign PIF, their investment arm called Sanabil Investments, they have actually co-led a round of $110 million along with Peter Thiel's Valor Ventures to invest in one of our own startup to go global. So let's give a big round of applause to ShopUp. So that's today. So what's tomorrow? How do we go from here to the vision we have for 2035? So this $180 million story, or 180 million people story, is not enough. I think we need to redefine market. We believe the market is actually much larger. When we talk about market, we should be talking about a much larger regional market which you could potentially serve out of Bangladesh. You set up your factory here, you export out to all these markets. At the same time, I would expect these markets to set up their factories and push it back to Bangladesh. Use the ports of Bangladesh and potentially export out to the rest of the world. So the narrative that we've had, why invest in Bangladesh, is not really a domestic market 180 million story. It is a regional story and it's a global story. To further strengthen ourselves, we have decided to enhance our port capacity. In Chittagong area, what you see now, we are actually tripling that within the next few years. which is essentially allow this region to consider Bangladesh as one of the biggest logistical hubs. However, that's not all. We need to do a lot more. So at the beginning of interim government's period, we actually decided to talk to more than 200 CEOs and entrepreneurs who actually are doing business in Bangladesh today. And we wanted to understand how can we convert our critics into our ambassadors. They are the only ones who could potentially bring business for us. They are the only ones who, if they travel abroad and say Bangladesh is a great place for business, that's when we are likely to get more investment. So we divided all their complaints into two groups, or the solutions that came out of their complaints. The list of challenges are very long. It's from the Earth to the Moon and back. But we whittled it down to a few action items, some of which are short-term wins, so some of that you see here, some of which are actually long-term policy reforms that we would like to also undertake and set the direction of travel for the country in the right course so that the incoming government, the next government, the political parties who come and start driving this economy, they can follow the same script for us. I'll give you a few examples. Let's start with, we talked about a true one-stop service. There are two elements of one-stop service. The first one is the human element, and then there is a digital element. In the human element piece, what we have decided to do is we are going to co-locate the primary agencies, the high touchpoint agencies for our investors in one location. So that instead of the investors walking around different ministries, and we have a lot of them in Bangladesh, they all come to one office and they end up meeting everyone. We've also decided, like banks, and I am from banking, I guess that helped, that we are going to set up a relationship management team under BIDA. What it would essentially do is, just like a corporate banking, relationship banking manager, he would hold hand of the investor and walk them around the landing process. Let's take another example. Our friends in National Board of Revenue helped us set up the authorized economic operator. It's essentially the green channel, or widely known as the green channel setup, where if you're a good customer, you are able to circumvent some of the custom checks and fast track your process through the ports. That has been picked up as one of the biggest challenges that we have, the time it takes to go from your factory all the way to your customer. And finally, let me show you one more example of policy change. So as you all know, there are many government agencies. We also know there's private sector. The dialogue between private sector and government agencies has not necessarily always been the most collegial. So how do we break that apart? The first thing we need to do is to club the government agency into one. We need to show one face. We need to be one outfit for our customers, our investors, and then create a bridge between our private sector and the government of Bangladesh. So what we are planning to do is to set up a private sector advisory council that will actually counsel the head of state directly on a regular basis, essentially voicing the changes that they would want to drive the economy forward. So these are some of the examples of what we are planning to do. And if we are able to do that, we do believe that we will get to the end, the vision we have for 2035. Now, of course, there are many, many other factual reasons, statistics, tables, Excel files that I can share with you to tell you why you should invest in Bangladesh. In fact, the next slide will have a QR code which you can scan and download, which will have essentially this presentation. So you didn't have to take the photos of the presentation, by the way. You will have this presentation, and you will also have an appendix of facts and figures and why we think competitively we're actually in a very better place than our competitors. So please watch out for the QR code. But before I go there, I would really like to finish off with this. There are economic reasons to invest in Bangladesh, but I really don't want you to invest in Bangladesh for the economic reasons. If you really think about investing in Bangladesh, think about investing in Bangladesh because of the transformational journey you're going to be part of. For the odd mixture of warmth and resilience our people have, and our century-old culture paired with the shared values that we have with you. So I rest my case here. Thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ashik. I just want to check whether people were listening or not. So a quick test. I need show of hands. When he said that we would like to convert our critics into, did he say convert our critics into super critics, neutral observers, into ambassadors? Can I hear the answer? Ambassadors, super promoters, ambassadors. Thank you very much. So let's now move on to the next section. Here, this is what we're going to do. Instead of us marking our own homework, talking up our own game, we would like to hear from three distinguished speakers from outside of our government. In quick succession, three of them from three different perspectives. First up is the Chief Executive Officer of Inditex, the makers of Zara, all the way from Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Oscar Garcia Macea. Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, distinguished authorities and dear friends. As have already mentioned, I'm coming from Spain. That's my first visit to Bangladesh, and it's for me an honor and a privilege to stay here on the stage this morning. We are about to reach, thank you. We are about to reach the 50th anniversary of the company. In 1975, we opened in our hometown in the northwest of Spain, in A Coruña, the first Zara store. So since then, we have been traveling a lot and crossing paths with many, many people. More than half of this time, we have been partnering with critical stakeholders here in Bangladesh. We arrived on Sunday morning, and during these 4 days of very busy and very crowded agenda, I have had the chance of confirming every single minute the feedback that I received about Bangladesh when I joined Inditex 4 years ago. Entrepreneurial spirit and an ambition to keep on growing and to keep on improving not only the financials, but also, and even more important, the lives of the people. So for us and for me, realizing that all of the feedback that I have been receiving from my teams during these 4 years before arriving in Bangladesh, confirming those ideas has been a great honor and a great privilege. As has just been mentioned, we are living times of uncertainties. Inditex formula, during this almost 50 years running business,
থাইল্যান্ডের রাজধানী ব্যাংককে
Award 2025 for long-term investment commitment, average revenue growth of over 17% and excellent return on capital employed. Congratulations, Square Pharmaceuticals.
Congratulations, Square Pharma, and to all 4 winners. Your contribution and inspiring stories will truly leave a legacy in our investment journey. Also, a shout out to all our applicants who participated in, and we are truly, truly grateful to you. At this stage, to hand over the trophies to today's winners, may I humbly request our chief guest, Dr. Mohammad Yunus, Honorable Chief Advisor of the Government of Bangladesh, to kindly come to the stage. I also request Mr. Ashik Chaudhary, Chairman of Bida and Beza, and Mr. Lutfi Siddiqui, Special Envoy to the Chief Advisor, to accompany sir to the stage. All right. I would now request the winners to come onto the stage one by one and collect the awards from the chief guest. First category, innovation. May I call on stage Mr. Mohammad Nazmul Islam, Managing Director, Fabric Lagbe, to come onto the stage. Next, for the ESG category, I humbly request Mr. S. Mahbubul Alam, Managing Director of Walton High Tech Industries, to come to the stage. Foreign category and for Bikash, we have Mr. Kamal Saiful Khader, Chief Executive Officer, to receive the award. Last but not the least, for the local investment category, I request Mr. Eric S. Chaudhary, Director, Square Pharmaceuticals, to come to the stage and receive the award from the Honorable Chief Advisor. May I now request all the winners to come onto the center stage to take a group picture. That concludes our Excellence in Investment Awards, and I now request the winners to go back to their respective seats. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of the session.
So, just a second. As the four awardees leave the stage, we would ask the Honorable Chief Advisor to please remain with us for just a little bit longer, because we'd like to now invite a surprise reveal, another distinguished honorary in a very special category to the stage. I see him over there now. We need to find a way to bring him up. If you could, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Ki Hak Sung, please. As Mr. Sung makes his way to the stage, let me just say a couple of words. He's the founder, chairman, CEO of Youngwon Corporation, a Korean multinational company specializing in outdoor clothing and footwear. The firm is a global leader with production facilities in multiple countries, not least here in Bangladesh. We're truly grateful for his 45-year-long dedication to this country and his pioneering work developing the eco-friendly Korean export processing zone over the years. And today, we are delighted to award Mr. Ki Hak Sung an honorary citizenship of Bangladesh. Seat, we'll ask Mr. Sung to say a few words, please. Do you have a script? Or?
Honorable Chief Advisor and advisors and diplomats, my friends, especially friends from Chittagong, and my delegates from Korea, 35 delegates, we come along. On behalf of entire Yongwon family of 72,000 in Bangladesh and another 28,000 elsewhere, I am truly honored as well as humbled to have this honorary citizenship. Thank you. I must say, in one of the venues, I said, I'm leaving from one of my hospital in Korea, Severance Hospital, and Chittagong, shuttling between these two. So I was wishing that I become a citizen of Bangladesh, especially citizen of Chittagong. And it came 5 years earlier than I expected. I thought after 50 years, you would be giving this award to me. Thank you very much, Honorable Advisor. This is more overwhelming, honored we are because Chief Advisor, Professor Muhammad Yunus is awarding this to me. Thank you very much.
So it's now time for the grand finale of the opening plenary. It's time for us to now hear from our chief guest, our chief host, and the Honorable Chief Advisor of the Government of Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nobel Peace Laureate, Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a very emotional occasion. Seeing through the journey that Bangladesh has gone through. The people who are just presented, they are the heroes of Bangladesh. Let's give another big applause for them. Another standing ovation for our new citizen, Kyu Hak Sang. Wonderful. His dedication, his commitment. Thank you. Please have your seat. Just doesn't have any boundary. He loves Bangladesh. He worked for Bangladesh. He loves the nature of Bangladesh. I wish you could visit his factory. And he brought so many delegations this time to come to show his new land of citizenship. Can the members of the Korean delegation please stand up so that we can give you applause? Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Yeah. Fantastic. This is your home too. We'll make this home beautiful home. For seeing them today, it's a journey that we have made the last 50 plus years. I was just remembering when we became an independent country in 1971. The celebration that we went through and commitment we made for building a new nation. Despite sacrifices of lives for achieving that independence, we rejoiced. We are free. That was 1971. Then came 1974. Today we are talking about 180 million people. In 1971, we were just about 1/3 of that size in population. Still the same country. 74 is a year that we cannot forget. Sorry. Sorry, my words. I cannot bring my word. People died of hunger. A famine throughout the country. One and a half million people died. So that was the country we started with. We used to grow one crop. We didn't know any other way. Our population was known as farmers because they have no other profession. And of them, 3/4 of the population were landless farmers. They had no land. They used to lease in a tiny bit of land from the people who had little bit of land to make a living by one crop. If you heard the word dirt poor, that was Bangladesh. Very difficult life. So if you take that journey from 1974 to 2025, it's an amazing journey. Here we're talking about all these big industries and so on, and inviting you for so many countries to set up more industries. We're talking about the big market, talking about the big, intelligent young population. That's Bangladesh. Came a long way in a very short time. In that famine-ridden country, one little initiative came just to relieve the burden of watching what's going on. To help people to lend money, tiny little money, $2, $3, so that they can start a business, focusing particularly, specifically on women. They are the most destitute of all. That became known as microcredit. We created a bank called Grameen Bank. Had no idea what this finally will turn out to be. But it turned out to be a global name. Because no matter which country you are, you have little Bangladesh of 1974 inside of you. You don't recognize it. You hide it by giving public money to them. So I always raise the voice. Giving public money to poor people is no solution at all. Solution is creating the structure, framework, will unleash the energy of the people. And microcredit was just a small effort of that. Then a crazy idea came over. When government wanted to issue license for telephone, we had nothing to do with telephone. We didn't have any telephone in the country. Few telephone in the cities, most of them don't work. So we talked, why don't we apply for a license for telephone company? A crazy idea. Government asked, what do you do with the telephone company? What business you got to do? I said, we'll give it to poor women. They laughed at us. To make a long story short, we got the license. Called it Grameen Phone, because we had the Grameen Bank, Grameen Phone. Nobody wants to partner with us because we have no knowledge, nothing. Because if Bangladesh is no place for mobile phone, there's no market for mobile phone. Who wants to be partner? So we knock at every door, international doors. Nobody wants to partner. Finally, someone I personally knew in Norway, who happens to be chairman of Telenor. I explained to him, can you help me? I explained why we want to do this and why we want to bring the phone to the women. He took it seriously. But the company board doesn't agree with him. They said, what, Bangladesh? We never heard a name called Bangladesh. So it's a big effort for him. The more board rejects, he comes back again, explain again. Finally, he got it through. The company assessment was, at the peak of this company, you will have 200,000 user of the mobile phone in the whole country, 200,000. And you cannot make a living on this with this kind of clientele. He told me, I said, are you crazy? It will be at least 10 times more than that. That's the way I could figure. It became the largest telephone company in the country. And women were the recipient of those telephone handsets. To turn them into what we call telephone ladies, sell the telephone service of the company. Men cannot apply, men cannot get the phone. Only poor women of Grameen Bank, not all women, only poor women of Grameen Bank can get a phone. Totally illiterate, has nothing to do, doesn't even know what a phone is. We train them. They started selling the service, saying, if you want to make a phone call to your son in the Middle East, in the meantime, Middle East saga began. So people wanted to talk. It became a roaring business. Soon, 100,000 women selling telephone service all over Bangladesh. It became so popular, everybody wanted to have a phone. Changed the whole company. At that time, there are other companies coming up around the world. They were focusing on their cities. The newspapers were covering us, not them. It became well known. So they started copying. For the first time, the idea came, phone have some use in the villages. They had no idea at all the telephone has any meaning in the villages. They're always concentrated on the cities. Telephone industry globally changed. I'm narrating this story a little bit because Bangladesh is a country with crazy ideas to change the world, make things happen. Everyone you saw on the stage receiving the award has a very powerful, crazy ideas and made them happen. So we invite you to join that crowd. Not only change Bangladesh by your business, change the world. I keep reminding people, yes, you want to make profit, go ahead, make profit. Maximize as much as you can. But we can add a little piece into it. Social purpose. You don't have to get disrupted by that. It's something that you can do, you have fun. Like many of you do already. So if you want to make a business with a purpose, along with the business that we do, Bangladesh is the place. You will not know what your business will be like. Why the whole world is following you. Why suddenly you look back, how did it happen? Bangladesh makes it happen. Always people explain how happy you got, you make money, we show the bottom line, fantastic thing. I try to add a little bit to that by saying making